Hello, I'm Paul Andrews from G4 Guitar School, Ashford, and welcome to this video where we're going to talk about the secret of how to practice less, improve quicker, and get results. So this has come out of from a few students telling me that they weren't too sure how to practice, or I'd noticed they've been practicing, a long time, maybe like an hour or so, but not really getting anywhere with it. And there's just a few key things we can look at to help make practice more efficient. So let's jump in. We're going to look at today the what, the why, and the how, basically. So to start with, what? So the difference between practice and playing, and this is quite often something that people get a little bit confused with. Playing is working on what you know, and practice is working on what you don't know. So playing could be, for instance, playing a song. You know the song, you can play the song, and you are just playing through the song. Practice is taking that same song, but you find that you're struggling with a chord change, or the rhythm is quite tricky. It's breaking that down, just that component, be it the chord change or the rhythm, and then working to build that up to obviously make it so you can play it. So you can see playing is doing what you can already do. There's no really practice involved there. You can already do it. The practice is where you need to really chunk it down, break it down, and then build it back up again. That's a big difference. So we want to have a bit of both in our practice routine. If you're only playing, you're never really going to be progressing quickly because you'll be doing what you already know. If you're just practicing, you'll find it's easy to get disheartened and, dare I say it, frustrated, because you're always trying to progress and build up something. So you feel like you're kind of chasing this never-ending kind of dream, if you like. So you want a bit of both. You want to be able to have a bit of a playing element, so you play what you know, so you feel inspired and motivated because you can do, but you want to practice so you can do better. So that's really the big difference there. Moving on, the big thing here and why we want to practice is practice equals progress. If you're not practicing, you are not progressing. It is simple as that. If you're only playing, there will be slight progress because you'll be playing the instrument, you'll be playing, but it's not focused, so you find it be very slow. So remember, practice equals progress. If there is no practice, there is no progress. And that's the number one thing that kills it for beginning students. They don't practice enough, so they don't see the progress, so they think they can't play the instrument and they quit, when really it's just because the practice is not there to see the progress. Moving on. So what will practice give us and what we can expect? If over a 2 years period, we're practicing 10 minutes a day, we can expect 300 minutes a month, and we can expect to be kind of beginner level. 30 minutes daily, over a month, that'll give us 900 minutes, you can expect novice. 60 minutes, 1,800 minutes, semi-pro, and 2 hours, 120 minutes a day, 3,600 minutes a month, and then pro level. So it gives you an idea of, again, this expectation. If you're practicing 10 minutes, you're going to be beginner. If you're practicing half an hour, you're going to be novice. And obviously this really ties into what your goal is and where you want to go with this. You might want to be pro level, so you need to also invest more time. But then you might want to just be kind of novice, just be able to play the guitar, play a few songs, and that's it, which is fine. It's just seeing where you want to go with it. But the real key here is that daily practice is going to get you there. If you're not doing daily practice, or at least 5 days a week, again, practice equals progress. You will feel like you're not progressing and get disheartened. Now, the next thing to talk about is deliberate practice. So the term deliberate practice refers to practicing with a clear purpose. Again, the difference between practice and playing. With the G4 method, we have this built in with our checklist. And deliberate practice means you need to be developing your playing in a particular direction. So your practice time only counts if it's deliberate practice. So this is really, again, the secret, going back to kind of the title of this presentation. To get results and to practice efficiently, we need to make sure our practice is deliberate, we have a clear goal, and we know where we're moving with it. These are the things we want to focus on. And the method, the G4 method, is basically tailored to this exact thing. If we then look at the 7 essential skills, so now we're going to talk about the how you do it, basically. We've talked about the what, the why, now's the how. So the guitar method we use, the G4 guitar method, is broken down to 7 essential skills. We can then look at any song and boil it down to 1 or more of these 7 essential skills. So when we're practicing, we practice these 7 skills, we work on them all, we rotate them every time we practice, so everything gets built to a very good level. We're not just going to be strong on our chords or rhythm. If we're just playing strummy songs, we're going to be strong on all of our essential skills. So that's the first thing with the how to practice. You want to be practicing a little bit of everything in regards to your skills, so you develop as an all-round player. And it's just make sure you work on each one, so you're picking your chords, arpeggios, scales, rhythm reading, and oral. The next side of this is actually how much to practice. So when we're practicing, and this really brings in the efficiency. So for junior, we recommend 20 minutes. For senior, we recommend 30. And this breaks down as if you're junior, 20 minutes, 5 minutes picking. Picking should always be part of your practice to start with, good because it's fundamental. If your picking hand is not working properly, if it's not confident, if you're not strong, then it's going to hold everything else back. It doesn't matter what your left hand's doing if you're right-handed, and your right hand, which is picking, isn't picking the right string because the axis is not there. You won't hear what your left hand's doing anyway. So it's really the engine. If you think of it in kind of that regard, if your right hand isn't driving right, if it's not driving your playing along, it doesn't matter what your left hand's doing. So we've got to make sure that picking is confident. Then 5 minutes of skill 1, 5 minutes skill 2, and 5 minutes songs. So skill 1, skill 2 means one of the, or two, skill 1 and 2 of the 7 essential skills. So we want to take, for instance, picking and chords one day. The next day you might do rhythm and reading, and then you rotate them. So you can see on these kind of points at the bottom here, we got daily picking, which I've already covered, rotating the remaining skills. So each day you're going to practice a different skill to ensure you are practicing at least each one twice in a week. There will be more if you're practicing, say, every day, or because you'll be practicing 7 days a week. There's 7 skills. You're doing 2 each time, so that's 14. So there will be maybe just picking one that you find tricky. You might be find your chords tricky or your reading, and try and do that a little bit more than the rest. Longer practices. So this is minimum. If you find you are practicing more, that's brilliant. But make sure this 30 minutes is there, because this will give you that efficiency and will give you those results. And songs, there's always songs at the end. We've got the 5-minute songs. Again, that is the goal. We want to be playing songs. But the problem is, if we're not working on the skills, we won't be competent enough to play those songs and get disheartened and basically quit. So skills is really the key. You wouldn't, go into the World Cup, never have practiced kicking a football. You work off the pitch hundreds of hours, and then you go in for that 90 minutes. It's as simple as that. And it's the same with this. When you're playing those songs, that is your kind of World Cup, if you like. You've got to practice outside that to get those skills developed so you can perform and play it with ease. It's as simple as that. So that is how to practice. So really the secret that I'm talking about here, the real secret to being efficient, to getting your results and doing it in the least amount of time, is one, working with a method. So a systematic program that we can work through and develop everything to a good level. It's using a practice log, which is this second one here. And by keeping track of how you're practicing and what you're practicing, you'll see your progress. So you can look at your practice log, you see how many minutes you've done. You can then look at, okay, so if I'm doing those 10 minutes a day, I'm going to be a novice, 20 minutes, so forth, and building up. You can see your progress. So that's a beauty there. If you track it, you can basically keep on top of it. You can build it up, you can drop it down however you need to reach your goals. And really the secret is the checklist. That gives us our tangible goal. That's where we're heading. So secret success is working with a method, tracking your practice, keeping to the schedule of 30 minutes or practice schedule. Again, minimum, you can do more, but that'll give you that efficiency. If you're doing all those things, you're rotating your skills, you'll get there a lot quicker. So there we go. That really is the secret. That is the success. Well, thank you for listening or watching. And yeah, you can find me at www.guitarlessonsashford.co.uk, where you can sign up there for our email list, and you keep updated with any new videos we have. So again, thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Cheers.